Time for my take now. Every so often there's a big news story that we focus on dealing with mental health. Whether it's the Sandy Hook school shootings, the murder of American sniper Chris Kyle, or the intention murder now of 149 people on this plane crash this week. We spend considerable time debating the mental health aspects of each perpetrator. We ask if anyone saw any signs or noticed anything unusual before the heinous acts occurred. 9 times out of 10, there were signs. People knew something and either said something or didn't. I'm just wondering today if it's once and for all time to take on mental health as a serious medical issue and stop stereotyping it as something we just want to brush under the carpet and not really discuss. As a victim of a stalker who was mentally ill, I can speak to this. I know for the most part the law is on the side of the mentally ill person, not the victims. I think it's time to revisit mental health once and for all. Bring it out of the darkness. Call it what it is. Get people help. Get rid of the stigmas. Time to move forward. You can find my takes every day on my Facebook page and at foxnews.com. Coming up on The Real Story, a pair of U.S. allies in the Middle East. Actually, we're going to do it right now. Egypt and Saudi Arabia now stepping up their strikes against Iranian-supported rebels in Yemen. Egypt now sending warships to effectively blockade the country as Saudi Arabia continues hitting the Houthi rebels and the targets from the air. Iran's foreign minister, meantime, trying to downplay the concerns that Iran's role in Yemen could derail any possible nuclear deal. Listen to this.
But this is the hot issue of the day. Any two diplomats sitting in a place will discuss that issue. It doesn't mean that we negotiated about it. Our negotiations are confined to the nuclear issue.
Gillian Turner is a former National Security Council staffer under both Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama and a Fox News contributor. Great to have you back on The Real Story. So we got a whole heck of a lot of problems going on in Yemen. How does this all intertwine with the fact that we have a couple days left on an Iranian nuke deal?
Well, the tragic reality is that Yemen is now poised for a spectacular proxy war between Iran's Shiite regime and Saudi Arabia. There's been an ongoing three-way conflict inside the country for months now. This conflict has destabilized the country to the point that Yemen's national government collapsed in January, and now, as of last week, ISIS has emerged on the scene, trying to insert itself into the conflict as well. So it's really a disastrous situation.
All right. Meantime, the administration has been on record as saying that Yemen is a success story. They really haven't backtracked from that, even though we can see, I mean, nobody's even left there anymore, and it's being taken over by rebels. The president, at least, has left. So what are we going to do about what's going on in the Middle East right now? If we could show everyone a map, there is discomfort and disquiet almost everywhere. What should the United States be doing?
So U.S. national security interests in this Yemen conflict really naturally align with Saudi Arabia and the other Gulf members of the GCC. Behind the scenes, the Obama administration has been working with Saudi Arabia and the other Arab members to really on all fronts, military, diplomatic, and intelligence, try and push back the Houthi rebels and reinstate what the United States views as Yemen's legitimate nationally elected government.
All right, Gillian Turner, we're going to wrap it there. We've got breaking news coming up about the Amanda Knox case. Thank you so much for joining us.